Chee Soon Juan will come back stronger.
And putting aside the results of GE 2025, the Singapore Democratic Party, SDP, has resumed its groundwork by launching a petition calling for changes to the election system. It was launched by party chief Chee Soon Juan on May 18th during SDP's thank you dinner for its volunteers. About 180 volunteers attended the dinner, which was held at the Legacy at 1 North.
There is any consolation, it's just that it's been a very disappointing set of results.
The elections, rather than retreating, what we're going to be doing is embarking on this renew, rebuild, reignite campaign. The first is we've launched a petition calling for a reform of the election system, and it's up on change.org. Later on I'll give you the URL. And basically it's this whole idea, and we've mentioned this even before the general elections, saying that this was very much a smash and grab election conducted by the PAP. And this is precisely what we mean when we talk about how this whole campaign was just conducted in unseemly haste. And then it finishes very quickly with the electorate hardly having time to come to grasp with some of the weighty issues, national concerns that affect our society.
Fundamental of things, and that for me, it was, he asked me, why don't you join Young PAP? I just looked at him, you want me to go and jump from frying pan into fire? And I just couldn't, if you were a thinking person at that time. And I know that what crossed my mind was that, okay, so many people that told me, hey, why don't you change, effect change from within the party? And my point is that this being a huge party, how much, right, would you have to accept and just kind of modify, amend your own views to be able to get into the party and then make your way up? How much would you have to do before they changed you instead of you changing the party? And at what point will you be able to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I am that same person that I started off with? And that's why it comes back to this point. If your values, you don't have anything to anchor you, you don't believe in the most fundamental of things, and that for me, it was just this whole life. Fundamentally, if you strip everything away, I still believe in a compassionate society, and that's not just buzzwords that you put out. I find it absolutely so abhorrent when you can have your prime minister making $2.2 million, $180,000 a month, and have this person, I know, it's where I live, it's not far. People are homeless and who eke out a living, and sometimes they eat one meal a day. They don't eat at all. I don't know. Okay, tell me, is that a society I want to live in? No. What can I do about it? I'll live my life. I'll challenge it. I'll challenge it. I want to change it. If that is wrong, then I don't want to be right.
And this has been the feedback we'll be getting over and over, especially if you're talking about younger voters, not knowing about coming together to learn about the process, and by the time they're starting getting involved in the process, they hardly have any other time and then being pushed to make a decision. So that's the first initiative that we have. The second is that we're going to launch a cooperative. It's called the Orange and Teal Social Enterprise and Cooperative, OTSEC. And the long and short of it is that Singapore has been dominated by this PAP-NTUC nexus. It just come through very clearly in this elections with the involvement of Mr. Ng Chee Meng. And this is shown to be very unhealthy for our economy, where everything is top-down. So the OTSEC is meant to be a very much ground up, where we're looking for Singaporeans to own a part of this business, profit sharing, and to encourage young entrepreneurs coming up, freelancers, provide incubator services. We're going to launch this evening, and as we move along, we'll get our members to be able to shape the business model, the precise businesses that we're going to get into. The third major initiative that we are going to be getting into is, I mentioned at the outset, that we've seen this upsurge of younger Singaporeans coming forward. And this is why we have beside us today Shawal Yo and Arifin Shah, whom you're familiar with, to embark on this newfound enthusiasm among the younger voters. We're going to tap into it. Yesterday we had a very enthusiastic crowd. We organizing the Young Democrats, our youth wing, as you know. And many of them have expressed a lot of interest, and from what they've shared with us. Again, this whole idea that they've just come up and learn the entire political process and then finding things very unsatisfactory, and hence they want to be part of this whole movement forward.
Across the board, as far as SDP is concerned, my jaw just dropped when I saw Bukit Panjang's results, as well as our two other constituencies in Sembawang and Marsiling UT. But just to thank all of you for your enthusiastic support, I just wish we had better results for you. If there is any consolation, it's just that we ran the best campaign that we could, and with your support, I just think we managed to soar, as I said, in terms of where we want to get to. But you know me, right? We press on. It's been a very disappointing set of results across the board.
We've launched a petition calling for a reform of the election system. Okay. And it's up on change.org. We've mentioned this even before the general elections, saying that this was very much a smash and grab election conducted by the PAP. And this is precisely what we mean when we talk about how this whole campaign was just conducted in unseemly haste. And then it finishes very quickly with the electorate hardly having time to come to grasp with some of the weighty issues, national concerns that affect our society. The second is that we're going to launch a cooperative. It's called the Orange and Teal Social Enterprise and Cooperative, OTSEC. And Singapore has been dominated by this PAP-NTUC nexus that just come through very clearly in this elections with the involvement of Mr. Ng Chee Meng. And this is shown to be very unhealthy for our economy, where everything is top down. So the OTSEC is meant to be a very much ground up, where we're looking for Singaporeans to own a part of this business. We've launched a petition.
Hey, hello friend, we've come to the end already. Have you subscribed yet? Yes, press the subscribe button and the like button and the share button. Thank you and have a nice day.